Yvonne De Carlo was a beloved Canadian-American actress, dancer, and singer. She was born in 1922 in Vancouver and passed away January 8th in Woodland Hills, California. While the public may remember De Carlo fondly, some of her former co-stars didn't have the most glowing opinion of her at first. While on the set of The Munsters, she managed to ruffle a few feathers, and on top of that, she didn't exactly have the nicest things to share about some of her experiences with the show. Facts First presents Co-Stars Confirm Why Yvonne De Carlo Was Hated on Set. The cast wasn't sure she was the right fit. Although The Munsters only lasted 2 years before getting the axe, the series has gone on to be considered a cult classic. Fans of the series loved the story of a family of offbeat monsters who tried to fit in with ordinary people. Lily Munster, played by Yvonne De Carlo, was the matriarch of the Munster family, and she often had to deal with the chaos conjured up by her husband, Herman Munster, played by the late Fred Gwynne. Although De Carlo was beloved by her fans, we've come to learn she wasn't exactly welcomed with open arms by her former co-stars. For starters, Fred Gwynne and Al Lewis, who played Grandpa, weren't sure about how they felt about De Carlo in the role. When casting for the show, the producers chose Gwynne and Lewis as they seemed to be shoo-ins for their respective roles. Behind the scenes, Gwynne and Lewis were close friends who had previously worked alongside each other in the series Car 54, Where Are You? However, when it came to their relationship with De Carlo, they were far less friendly towards her. It's been reported that the primary reason for this had to do with De Carlo's status as a film star. Gwynne and Lewis firmly believed she wouldn't be the right fit for a role in a TV comedy. That being said, she proved them wrong, and fortunately all 3 actors eventually ended up becoming lifelong friends. De Carlo's film career before The Munsters. Throughout the 40s and 50s, De Carlo was a regular fixture in films put out by Hollywood. Her early film work consisted of roles in films like Hurricane Smith, Calamity Jane, Hotel Sahara, and Sam Bass. But her most prominent film credit came when she shared the screen with Charlton Heston in the 1956 classic epic biblical flick, The 10 Commandments. Though she was a famed and celebrated movie star, like so many actors of her day, she ended up falling on hard times. By the 1960s, movie roles had all but dried up, and she was drowning in debt. In 1964, however, her luck changed when she was offered the role of Lily Munster. According to reports, De Carlo was thrilled to portray the now iconic character. Her role ended up doing wonders for her once struggling career, effectively giving her a second wind. She told Fox News a few years before her passing that the role provided her with a new, younger audience that she wouldn't have had otherwise. After a long stint of basically falling to the wayside, it made her hot again, which is something she desperately needed. Lily Munster ended up becoming her most famous role. While De Carlo had oodles of film credits to her name, her role as Lily Munster wound up becoming her most famous. She'd spend hours in hair and makeup every day to transform into the Munster matriarch. As far as her character's personality, De Carlo later admitted it had been challenging to get into the groove of things. Producers instructed her to play Lily as a sort of mixed-up take on Donna Reed without overdoing it. She played Lily for 2 seasons before the show was canceled in 1966. She later reprised her role in the spin-off films The Munsters' Revenge and Munster Go Home. And thanks to reruns, millions of younger viewers have been introduced to her performance as Lily, leading to many longtime fans that otherwise wouldn't have even known her name. She hated getting into makeup. Goth might be a popular aesthetic today, but it wasn't really a thing in the 60s. But if you looked hard enough, you could find people that loved the macabre style, but the subculture as it exists today didn't really find its footing in pop culture until the 80s. There's far more appreciation for Yvonne De Carlo's makeup and wardrobe as Lily Munster with contemporary audiences than when the show was on. Because of this, De Carlo naturally felt a little uncomfortable slipping into character every day, especially the first time she saw herself in the mirror after getting all done up as the dark, seductive vampiress. The 2017 book You Ain't Heard Nothin' Yet, written by former TV columnist for the Toronto Star James Bawden, recounts the author's numerous interviews with some of the top stars of the age. In 1975, he interviewed De Carlo when he traveled to LA to preview the fall TV season. According to the book, it didn't take long for Yvonne to open up about her time on The Munsters. When describing her hair and makeup routine, De Carlo said the very first time she was put into her signature green makeup, she burst into tears. She couldn't believe that after spending decades as a respected and established actress, what she would ultimately become famous for was playing a gaudy monster on a low-brow TV series. After the Munsters ended up becoming a smash hit, De Carlo said that everywhere she went, children would point at her and ask if she was the real Lily Munster. She told Bauden that in Hollywood, you need to learn how to roll with the punches if you want to keep working, and that unfortunately for older women, that often means they have to resort to monster movies. At least in her case, she got to play a funny monster. Still, she cringed when she saw the pilot. It took her nearly 2 hours every day sitting in makeup to get done up like Lily Munster, and every moment of that period, she was second-guessing herself. She told Bauden that she wouldn't have used the word ugly to describe Lily's look, but even so, at the time there was an established set of beauty standards in Hollywood that she didn't fit in with. This became especially obvious when the show went from black and white to color for the later 2 Munster films. At that point, the camera showed off all the green and red that covered her face and made her look all the more so like the monstrosity she was supposed to be seen as. When the show was airing in black and white, the green and red makeup enhanced the intense contouring and contrast. It made the clothing and everyone's prosthetics and winged eyebrows pop. But De Carlo was right on the money when she mentioned that the reds and greens seen in the film Munster Go Home were not very flattering. The makeup choice ultimately made Lily, Grandpa, and Eddie Munster look fairly hideous. In black and white, red would have shown up as black. Grease paint and a heavy foundation of green makeup would be used to cover up any reddish hues on the skin. Gold lipstick was likewise used to simulate the color of natural lips. Finally, blue would be used for shadow and contour, getting a liberal spreading across the actors' faces. In grayscale, all this looked fine, but after making the leap to color, these decisions made the cast look like a band of clowns. De Carlo's Post-Munsters career. After the Munsters ended, Yvonne De Carlo continued to act in TV and film. Some of her notable works include The Love Boat, Bonanza, and McLintock. She also continued to perform in theater productions both on and off Broadway until her retirement in the late 80s. In 1998, she suffered a minor stroke. She later took up residency at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills, California, where she spent the remainder of her years. De Carlo passed away January 8, 2007 at age 84. The cause of her death was reported to be heart failure. She is survived by her 2 sons, Bruce, Ross, and Michael. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you know Yvonne De Carlo hated getting into makeup for her role as Lily Munster? Let us know in the comments section below.